Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
There were telephoned bomb threats to 22 other Washington buildings yesterday and 2 more today, all false alarms. Credit for the Capitol bombing was claimed in a letter received by the Associated Press today, signed by the Weather Underground.
This is America! You're Nazis! Nazis! You Nazis!
Get out of our neighborhood!
You Nazis!
Get out of our neighborhood!
It's simple. It is a criminal offense to organize or be a member of a group that advocates the violent overthrow of the U.S. government. A federal law known as the Smith Act was passed in 1940. Following World War II, the act was used to break up the leadership of the Communist Party USA leaders. 10 of those Communist Party members were given 5 years and a $10,000 fine. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed the Communist Control Act, outlawing the Communist Party of the United States, essentially criminalizing support for the party or communist action organizations.
The struggle that is going to ultimately defeat United States imperialism is going to be an international struggle. It's going to be an armed struggle. It's going to be a struggle that's going to have to take place in the third world against U.S. imperialism and in the mother country against U.S. imperialism.
I am Leonard Patterson. When I was a young man, only 23 years old, I joined the Communist Party. I joined the party because I honestly thought the communists were trying to help American Negroes. I broke away from the party when it became clear to me what the communists were really up to was to use the Negro people in this country as cannon fodder in a violent and bloody revolution.
We're talking about corporate democracy, which is actually today called communism.
Sure. So we're not talking about a constitutional republic like ours, the first and pretty much only.
Not at all.
We're talking about a democratic republic, which means a Politburo, a secretariat, a totally staged event.
Precisely, and that's exactly why today the communist movement throughout the world is absolutely elated when Obama was made president, because they finally got a full-blown Marxist-Leninist Soviet communist, old school Soviet communist regime in America. Now, and it said, even the communist publication said, boy, now it's time to really destroy this country big time.
50 U.S. Code 842 states, the Communist Party of the United States or any successors of such party, regardless of the assumed name, whose object or purpose is to overthrow the government of the United States or the government of any state, territory, district, or possession thereof, or the government of any political subdivision therein by force and violence, are not entitled to any of the rights, privileges, and immunities attendant upon legal bodies created under the jurisdiction of the laws of the United States or any political subdivision thereof, and whatever rights, privileges, and immunities which have heretofore been granted to said party or any subsidiary organization by reason of the laws of the United States or any political subdivision thereof are terminated. These laws are still on the books. Violent George Soros-funded affinity groups, or Antifa groups as they're known, utilizing the anarchist tactics known as swarming, as defined by the Rand Corporation, openly basing their message on the tenets of communism, wielded on the average citizen of the United States of America. These groups have forfeited their rights. Furthermore, the tax dollars shoveled into the overtime pay for local police and state police to allow Antifa to express their First Amendment rights that are forfeit under federal laws that go back 77 years are invalid and illegal. There's a larger problem here. Our tax dollars are being unlawfully used against us. At least failed Governor Christie in the midst of Beachgate had the wherewithal to acknowledge that Antifa is a terrorist organization. John Bound for Infowars.com.
After 4 years of research, The next big game changer has arrived. Z-Shield, toxic metal and chemical defense support. It's made in the USA. It's filled with known compounds from nature that are absolutely associated with detoxifying the body, and it supports the Infowar. It is a classical 360 win. We're changing the world. Now it's time to change our bodies with Z-Shield at InfoWarsLife.com.